everybody! This week we're going to talk about a Bible story from the Old Testament. We're going to learn about three friends named Shadrach, Mesach, and Abednego. We're going to learn what they did. So go ahead and listen to the story. There were once three friends called Mesach, Shadrach, and Abednego. They were Jews living in Babylon. They loved God very much. One day the three friends were given orders to go to an important event. They heard the sound of music and followed it through the winding streets until finally they came to the edge of the city. There in front of them they saw a tall statue that seemed to reach up to the sky. Everyone was told that when the music played they must bow down before the statue. Anyone who didn't bow down would be in big trouble. The music started to play. People started to bow down, which made the three friends very sad. They knew it was wrong to bow down before the statue. Only God should be worshipped like this. They didn't realize, but some of the men who worked for the king were watching them. When they saw the three friends did not bow before the statue, the men went at once to tell the king. The king was very angry with the three friends. He wanted to know if it was true what the men had told him. He gave them another chance to go back to the statue and bow before it. If they would not obey him, he warned that they would be thrown into a terrible fire. The three friends answered, "The true and living God who we serve can save us from the fire, but whatever happens, we will not bow down to your statue and worship it." When the king heard their answer, he was furious. He showed his teeth and went very red in the face. He ordered the fire to be made 7 times hotter, and he sent for his strongest soldiers to tie up the three friends with ropes and throw them into the fire. But something amazing happened when the men entered the fire. Their hands became free from the ropes, and they walked around looking very peaceful. As the king watched them, he saw another man in the fire. He looked like the Son of God. The king could not believe what he was seeing. The men were completely safe. They were not burned at all. He shouted for the three friends to come out of the fire. As they walked out, everyone saw that they were safe. They did not even smell of smoke. Then the king spoke to everyone and said, "The God of Mesach, Shadrach, and Abednego is to be praised. He has kept them safe because they trusted in him. No one else can save like their God. Anyone who speaks evil against him will be punished." The three friends were very happy and praised God. After this, the king gave them very important jobs to help him rule over the great city of Babylon. God kept the three friends safe in the fire, and now he is blessing them again because he loved them. So the three of them refused to bow down to that statue. They knew because the only thing in the whole wide world that they should bow down to is God. And that's important for us to remember. God is the ruler of everything, and he should come first in our lives. We shouldn't put anything ahead of him. He should always be the most important thing. Sometimes we can lose sight of that and think other things are important, whether it be money or being famous or things like that. We can think of those things above God sometimes, but that's not how it should be. God should always be first in our lives. And they knew that, and that's why they refused to bow down to that statue. So the king wasn't very happy because he wanted everyone to worship that statue, right? So, because of that, he punished them. They put them in a fiery furnace, so they were engulfed with flames. Do you think that would be very comfortable? No, that wouldn't be very comfortable. Most people would die if they were surrounded by flames in a furnace, wouldn't they? But they didn't. That's because God protected them. And then also in the story, we saw that there was someone else in the furnace with them. The king said it looked like the Son of God. So it might have been Jesus. It might have been an angel. There was a lot of things that God could have sent to help them and be with them and keep them calm and know that God is with them and that they are protected. So sometimes God sends us those images and messages in our lives. A lot of times they aren't quite as obvious as Jesus or an angel, but God shows his presence in our lives in lots of little signs every day. And it's important for us to be able to look for them. So we're going to make a craft to remember this story. This craft, you're going to want a piece of paper, a pair of scissors, crayons or colored pencils, and a fastener or a brad. So your first step is going to be to fold your paper in half. Make sure you crease it pretty well. Your next step will be to draw a circle on your paper. And then I'm going to cut out my circle with my paper folded in half. Because my paper is folded in half, how many circles am I going to get? So I'm going to get 2 circles. Because I'm going to get one from each side of the paper that I had folded. See, I have 2 circles. Now take one of your circles and I want you to draw fire on it. So I'm going to put red on the outside of my fire. And then I'm going to put orange. And on the innermost part, I'm going to put yellow. Now I'm going to color it in. I'm going to color the whole outside part I just marked red. And then I'm going to color that inside part orange. And then I'm going to color the innermost part I marked yellow. So here is my fire. I'm going to go ahead and color the rest of my circle black. Because this is a furnace. What color do you normally think of furnaces as being? That's right, black or really dark, right? So there is one of my circles. My other circle, I'm going to draw 3 people. So I'm drawing their heads now. And then I'm going to give them eyes. So I'm going to give this guy blue eyes. I'm going to give this guy green eyes. And I'm going to give the last guy brown eyes, if I can find a brown crayon. And then they all need noses. And then they all need smiles. Because are they happy? Yeah, they were pretty happy, I think. Why do you think they were happy? Because they weren't catching on fire while they were in that furnace, right? And then I'm going to give them hats. This guy I'm going to give a blue hat to. This guy I'll give a red hat to. And I'll give the last guy a green hat. This kind of looks like how they did in the story, doesn't it? But then, who else was in there with them? You remember? There's another person who looked like who? The Son of God is what our story said. So maybe it was Jesus, maybe it was an angel. But either way, there was somebody else in there with them. So I'm going to give him a face as well. But I'm also going to give him a halo. Because maybe it was Jesus, maybe it was an angel. There was somebody that God sent with them in that furnace. I'm going to give him a nose too. So there's the 3 friends, and then there's the angel that was with them. Now I want you to take your fire, and I want you to cut straight up the middle of your fire. And then you're going to take your fastener, and you're going to line up the 2 halves of your circle. You're going to overlap the bottom a little bit. And then you're going to stick the fastener through each part of the paper. And all the way through the bottom. Then you're going to unfold it on the bottom of your paper. And now you can open your fiery furnace and see everybody who was in there. Isn't that kind of cool? So I hope you had a fun making your craft this week. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you in Sunday school. Bye!